In the late 1960s, a killer emerged in Northern California, sending chilling letters to newspapers and taunting police. He claimed to have killed 37 people, but only 5 murders were confirmed. This killer became known as the Zodiac Killer, and he remains one of the most notorious unsolved mysteries in American history. What drives someone to commit such a heinous act? Who is the Zodiac Killer, and why was he never caught? Let's dive into the chilling story of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac's reign of terror began on December 20th, 1968, when 2 teenagers, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were shot and killed in their car near Vallejo, California. Their bodies were discovered by a passerby just hours later. The police initially thought it was a crime of passion, but everything changed just a few months later. On July 4th, 1969, a young couple, Darlene Farron and Michael Maggio, were parked at a remote spot in Vallejo. They were enjoying their time together when suddenly a man approached their car. Without warning, he opened fire on them, hitting both of them multiple times. Miraculously, Michael survived and was able to give police a description of the attacker. He described the man as wearing a dark hooded outfit with a symbol on his chest that looked like a crosshair. Just days later, on July 31st, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle received a letter from someone claiming to be the Zodiac Killer. The letter included details about the recent murders that only the killer would know. He also included a cipher challenging the public to solve it. This was the first time the name Zodiac was used, and it marked the beginning of his infamy. The letter captured the attention of the public, and many were eager to decode the message. In just a few days, a school teacher and his wife cracked the code, revealing a disturbing message that indicated the Zodiac enjoyed killing and wanted to keep the public in fear. This letter made the Zodiac Killer a household name. As the investigation continued, the killer struck again. On September 27, 1969, he attacked another couple, Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell, at Lake Berryessa. While they were relaxing by the lake, the Zodiac approached them wearing a costume that resembled a medieval knight, complete with a hood. He brandished a gun and ordered them to lie down on the ground. The Zodiac then used a knife to carve a symbol into Brian's arm, claiming he was collecting a trophy. He shot Cecilia, but Brian managed to escape and provided a description to the police. The Zodiac then sent another letter to the press, this time including a drawing of the hooded costume he wore during the attack. This letter was even more disturbing than the last, and it further solidified his status as a dangerous criminal. The last confirmed murder attributed to the Zodiac occurred on December 20th, 1969, when he killed a taxi driver named Paul Steen in San Francisco. The killer approached Paul's cab and shot him in the head. Witnesses saw a man leave the scene, but the police could not identify him. This was the last time the Zodiac was confirmed to have killed anyone, but his letters continued to arrive. Over the next few years, the Zodiac sent numerous letters to the media, taunting police and taking credit for more murders. Some of these claims were later proven false, but the fear he instilled in the public was real. His letters were filled with cryptic messages, symbols, and sometimes even bloody pieces of clothing from his victims. And many suspects emerged over the years, but none could be definitively linked to the crimes. The investigation went cold, but interest in the Zodiac Killer never waned. People were fascinated by the case, and many amateur sleuths attempted to solve the mystery on their own. In 2007, a new development occurred when a group of amateur investigators claimed they had identified the Zodiac Killer as Arthur Leigh Allen, a convicted child molester who died in 1992. They pointed to circumstantial evidence, such as his interest in ciphers and his history of violent behavior. However, there was no solid proof linking him to the murders, and the case remained unsolved. In 2018, the case took another twist when a new investigative team announced they were using DNA evidence to try identify the killer. They hoped to solve the mystery using modern forensic techniques. The Zodiac Killer had left behind some samples, and advances in DNA testing might finally provide their answers that have eluded investigators for decades. As of now, the Zodiac Killer has never been caught. His identity remains a mystery, and the chilling letters he sent to newspapers still haunt those who study the case. Many questions remain unanswered. Why did he kill? What motivated him? And most importantly, who was he? The Zodiac Killer has become a symbol of the unknown, a ghost that continues to terrorize the public's imagination. His legacy lives on through documentaries, films, and countless articles written about him. The fear he instilled is still felt today, and the question remains, will we ever know who he was? As we reflect on this chilling case, it's important to remember the victims, those whose lives were taken far too soon. Their stories are a reminder of the impact of violence and the importance of justice. So, what do you think happened? Could the Zodiac Killer still be out there, or has he already been identified? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching.